And joining us now with more on the latest developments in the Gaza war is Professor Kobi Michael from the Misgav Institute. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me, and the INSS as well.
So, U.S. Envoy Steve Witkoff recently made comments saying that the United States wants to secure the release of the hostages, but Israel is currently unwilling to end the war. The U.S. also has implied that there is not much more that Israel can do from a military perspective. I mean, what's your take on this, and what would the military objectives be for a renewed operation in Gaza?
Israel doesn't want war. Israel wants to fulfill its crucial strategic interests and to end the war, where Hamas is not the sovereign power in the Gaza Strip, an effective sovereign power in the Gaza Strip, and of course releasing all the hostages, the alive and the dead hostages, and changing entirely the security reality in the Gaza Strip in a way that will not enable another threat or attack like October 7th. These are the goals of Israel with regard to the Gaza Strip. If the military pressure that Israel now increases in the Gaza Strip will bring Hamas to comply to Witkoff's proposal, then Israel will stop the military pressure. If not, and Israel is not intends to wait too long for that, it is a matter of days, Israel will intense the military operation until the full occupation of the Gaza Strip in order to assure that eventually, and at the end of the day, and the end of the war, Hamas will not remain and will not be there in the Gaza Strip, and the hostages will be released.
And so in terms of a hostage deal, a ceasefire deal, what is the United States expecting of Israel? And from a security perspective, is it something that Israel could agree to?
I doubt it. I think that what we see in the last week, or I would say in the last weeks or so, is a sequence of events that signal a very troubling red light for Israel with regard to the American approach, to the American strategy, and the way that the Americans are willing to realize their interests even on the, I would say, by harming or by hurting the Israeli interests. We saw it when the American administration decided to renew the negotiation with the Iranians with regard to the nuclear weapon. And then when the American administration, President Trump, decided to stop the military campaign against the Houthis, although the Houthis continue launching rockets and drones towards Israel on a daily basis, the idea that the United States, the American administration, negotiates directly with Hamas above the head of Israel and differentiates between Israeli hostages that hold an American citizenship and those who do not hold an American citizenship, and trying to force on Israel to cease the war, because ceasing the war is something that serves the crucial interests of President Trump or the American administration with regard to the normalization process of the new regional architecture, is something that Israel must be worried about, because this is something that weakens Israel. This is something that I would say shakes the relations and the intimacy in these relations between Israel and the United States. And this is something that signals to Hamas and to the other adversaries that Israel has here in the region that this might be the right moment to re-attack Israel, because the United States will not back Israel, or because the relations between both countries are not like the relations that were 3 weeks or a month ago or something like that.
So then what is Israel waiting for? I mean, Israel has already called up tens of thousands of reservists waiting for this renewed operation in Gaza. Why hold off? Why wait?
I think that it is a mistake. I think that Israel was mistaken, that Israel is mistaken today. Israel was mistaken a week and 2 weeks ago, and Israel was mistaken from the first beginning of the war. I think that this war could have been ended 2 weeks after October 7th. By occupying the entire Gaza Strip and by launching, I would say, ground operations simultaneously from 3 places, from Gaza in the north, Khan Yunis in the center, and Rafah in the south, and collapsing Hamas and ending this issue in 2 weeks with a very heavy strike over the entire Gaza Strip. So I think that the hesitation, I think that the waiting, I think that there are many reasons for that, okay? Not all the reasons are in the Israeli hands. We remember what happened with the Biden administration and the pressures that this administration put on Israel, including embargo of weapons. But at the end of the day, I think that Israel should not wait.
All right, Professor Kobi Michael, thank you so much for your insights today.
Thank you for having me.